Good morning, students. We are going to discuss the topic distributed shared memory. It is in Unit 5 in the course CS 8603 Distributed Systems. The learning objectives are knowing about the basic concepts behind DSM and to know about the advantages, disadvantages, and issues of DSM. So, what is DSM? Distributed shared memory. So, what is distributed shared memory means? It is a resource management component of a distributed operating system. This distributed shared memory implements the shared memory model. So, we know that we have two models, message passing model and shared memory model. So, this distributed shared memory uses the shared memory model. So, here we don't have any physically shared memory. So, this model provides a virtual address space. So, this virtual address space is distributed among all the computers. That's why it's called as a distributed shared memory. It is an abstraction which is provided between the programmer and the memory of a distributed system. So, it gives the impression of a single memory to the programmer. The programmer thinks that they are having a single memory. Okay, they don't be aware of a distributed virtual address space. They are thinking that they are working on a single memory. So, the programmers access the data across the network. To access the data, they can use the read and write primitives. Since they go with a shared memory model, they don't need to concern about a send message primitive, receive message primitive, etc. So it reduces the complexity with the synchronization and consistency. So this is how the processes are communicating with the shared virtual memory. So all the processes are having a private space as well as the distributed shared space. So the process is invoking a request and it reaches the memory manager. The memory manager only handles the request and it sends the response to the process. The advantages of distributed shared memory are: here the communication across the network is achieved by the read-write abstraction. You don't need any read-write primitive. You don't need any send receive primitive. Instead of that, we are using only the primitives read and write. So it simplifies the task of programmers. Only the single address space is provided. Okay. So you can avoid the data movement across the multiple address spaces, and you can simplify the passing by reference and passing complex data structures. It is always economical. It always uses a simpler software interfaces. They are the advantages. What are the challenges we have in distributed shared memory means? The programmers are aware of the availability of replica consistency model. So we have so many consistency model. So while writing the code, they have to think about the consistency model and they have to follow the semantics of these models. So it is a little bit difficult for the programmer to write a program. And it is implemented as asynchronous message passing. So automatically the overhead of asynchronous synchronization is introduced here. Since the control is given to the memory manager, the programmer don't have the ability to use their own message passing solution for accessing the shared object. That is, here the memory manager only decides from which memory the process is going to read or write. So the programmer loses the capability. What are the issues in designing a distributed shared memory system means? As I told, we have so many consistency model. So to allow the concurrent access to the shared object, we have to determine a proper semantics. So selecting the location for replication is again the challenge for the DSM programmer, and determining the location of remote data, it is also a challenge, and you have to reduce the communication delay, and you have to reduce the number of messages that are involved in this communication. So all these are the challenges of distributed shared memory. So with this we are concluding the topic distributed shared memory. Thank you.